After suffering a devastating injury that leaves her unable to stand, Xiao Mei is forced to remain close to the ground, and it is in this powerless state that she begins to understand the true nature of the man who controls her fate. Xiao Shuai is not driven by impulse or rage, but by a chilling calmness, an obsession with control, and an advanced ability to read emotions. And Xiao Mei quickly realizes that fear only feeds his sense of superiority. Instead of begging or resisting, she chooses observation, studying the way he speaks, listens, and reacts, and she identifies his greatest weakness, his need to feel understood. She deliberately asks him a disturbing question no woman has ever asked, not to shock him, but to signal alignment, and the effect is immediate, transforming suspicion into fascination. For the first time, Xiao Shuai sees a captive not as a resource, but as a mirror, someone who might reflect his inner world back to him. To confirm this belief, he tests her with an intimate shared moment, and Xiao Mei responds with terrifying discipline, controlling every expression and reaction, turning performance into protection. And in doing so, she crosses an invisible line from object to exception. This shift reveals something crucial about Xiao Shuai. Beneath his cruelty lies vanity, loneliness, and a hunger for emotional recognition that rivals his hunger for control. Long before he became a predator, Xiao Shuai was a successful plastic surgeon, respected for his skill and admired for his professionalism. But over time, admiration was no longer enough. Power, secrecy, and the thrill of transgression pulled him deeper into darkness, until he discovered an underground network where wealth erased morality and desire justified anything. To sustain this hidden world, he refined his most dangerous skill, emotional manipulation, using dating apps as hunting grounds where loneliness made women vulnerable and hope made them careless. Xiao Hua, like many others, is drawn in not by force, but by warmth, humor, and attention, mistaking emotional intelligence for sincerity and connection for safety. Their meeting feels natural, almost cinematic, and despite her best friend's unease and warnings, Xiao Hua chooses trust, believing that love requires risk. When Xiao Shuai suggests a trip, isolation feels romantic rather than alarming, and with every mile away from the city, the illusion tightens its grip. At his secluded villa, beauty and discomfort exist side by side, and although subtle signs suggest danger, attraction and reassurance override instinct. When Xiao Hua loses consciousness, the transition from fantasy to horror is abrupt, and upon waking, she is forced to confront the truth that affection was never real, only a carefully designed strategy. Yet, even in captivity, despair does not fully consume her, because like Xiao Mei, she learns that submission does not mean surrender, and silence can be a weapon when paired with patience. By mirroring Xiao Shuai's language, interests, and emotional cues, she gradually earns his trust, exploiting his arrogance and his belief that control equals safety. As he grows careless, she gains access to the remnants of his past victims, discovering personal belongings that strip away any remaining illusion of exception, including evidence that her closest friend has already paid the price for curiosity and concern. The presence of Xiao Shuai's wife deepens the horror, revealing that evil does not always stand alone, but is often protected by complicity, denial, and comfort, as she chooses loyalty over morality and stability over truth. Realizing that time is limited and mistakes are fatal, Xiao Mei intensifies her performance, blending vulnerability with admiration, humor with affection, creating an emotional fog that blinds Xiao Shuai to danger. He mistakes manipulation for love, intimacy for trust, and when the opportunity finally arises, Xiao Mei acts without hesitation, freeing the other captives and transforming individual suffering into collective resistance. The escape is chaotic and uncertain, driven not by strength but by desperation and unity. And although Xiao Shuai believes fear will bring them back under his control, he underestimates the power of shared survival. Even when confronted with one final threat in the form of his wife, who cloaks revenge and false victimhood, cooperation and clarity prevail, proving that awareness can dismantle even the most carefully constructed lies. When the survivors finally reach safety, they carry with them not only trauma, but truth. And the film closes on a haunting realization. Xiao Shuai's greatest weapon was never physical harm, but charm, patience, empathy, and a deep understanding of human loneliness. The story becomes more than a tale of horror. It is a warning that true danger often wears a friendly face, that manipulation can feel like
love, and that survival sometimes depends not on power or violence, but on perception, unity, and the courage to see through beautifully crafted illusions.